In this video, we will be learning to make sealskin Pualu Inuit mitts. You'll want to spend some time getting familiar with your hide. The seal pelt will be darker along the back, which is in the center. As you move out towards the sides, which is the underbelly of the seal, it will become silver and very light. Trace your pattern. Here, you'll need to be mindful of the direction of the fur. You'll want to be sure to flip your pattern, or you will end up with two mitts for the same hand. For the outer layer of the Pualu, we will be tracing onto the sealskin. We will then trace the pattern a second time onto the shearling fleece. This will be for the inner insulation of the Pualu. Finally, we will be tracing the palm onto leather. This will ensure that you will have grip. Now that your pattern pieces are properly traced, it's time to cut them. Now that you've finished cutting, your pieces should look like the pieces shown here. After your pattern is cut, mark your pieces left and right. At this stage, we're ready to begin tacking. Tacking is done with a marker and will help us to line up each pattern piece. Where your fingertips are, we're going to make our first tack. We can place a stitch there to hold the two pieces together. We will then take the thumb piece, and at the tip of your thumb, we will make a second tack. You are now ready to do a whip stitch to put these three pieces together. To perform the whip stitch, you will put your two pieces together. You will push through and go round and round and round. This will create a wrap-around effect around the two pieces, as opposed to the running stitch, which goes in and out and will produce a straight line. Pualu are designed to follow the natural curve in our hands. To achieve this shape, we're going to use a technique called puckering. Puckering is the process of taking a larger piece of material and stitching it to a smaller piece of material. A gather will be made on the larger piece of material and stitched down to the smaller piece. You're going to want to be mindful of the size of your puckering and that they are uniform. Once you've completed the inner liner, you will now move on to the outer Pualu. Creating this section is similar to the liner with some key differences. The outer fur will be sewn inside out to hide our stitches. We will also be using the running stitch instead of the whip stitch, a Glover needle instead of a regular needle, and sinew instead of the nylon thread. One piece of sinew can be separated 4 or 5 times. When separating your sinew, gently pull it apart. Once your outer Pualu is completed, turn it fur side out. Look over your work for any visible stitches. If any are showing, go back and sew one tighter stitch over top. Once you've checked your stitches and everything is complete, insert the liner into the outer Pualu. Trim off any excess liner that is visible above the hide. Attach the two layers together with your choice of fur or hide trim. These attachments will be done with a whip stitch. The teachings that have been shared with you are a gift, and only continue to be a gift when you give them to others. We must honor the animals that have given themselves for us to use by wearing the mitts that we have made.